I used to be overweight, crippled by social anxiety, addicted to video games, and constantly overwhelmed by negative emotion. Now I'm 10 times happier, overflowing with self-confidence, and I'm in the best shape of my life, both physically and mentally. And in this video, I'm going to give you the most practical, no fluff tips that's genuinely worked for me. Before we do jump in though, I wanted to ask you one thing. To please come into this with an open mind. I'm not here to judge or attack you, I'm here to help you level up. Now if that sounds good, let's get into it. Everything in life is a direct result of cause and effect. What that means is everything in life you have, both good or bad, is a direct result of some action that you took at some point. So when you go to the gym every day for 3 years, what do you think the cause and effect is? The cause is going to the gym every day for 3 years, and the effect is a physique better than 90% of people. If you even have the basics of the gym down, you're going to get a physique better than 90% of people. It's simple cause and effect. And then say you watch porn every day for 3 years. What's the byproduct of that? You're going to be awful with goals, you're going to lack self-confidence, and you're not going to want to do much with your life. Again, simple cause and effect. Imagine you're playing a video game. You have to be level 80 to move on to the next zone, but you're currently only level 60. What do? Well, of course, you grind those lower level enemies that you can fight to level up. The cause of this is you taking responsibility. You have to grind those lower level enemies. And then the effect of grinding those lower level enemies is you leveling up and being able to do and move on to the next zone. Every good thing you want in life, the effect has a cause, an origin point that you can work towards. It's like, bro, everything you want in life can be broken down into this equation. If you want better mental health, figure out what's draining it, figure out what levels it up, subtract that, add that. You want the effect of better mental health, what's the cause? Good habits. Basically, if you want better mental health, figure out what's draining it, figure out what levels it up, stop doing it, and start doing it. At a macro level, it's as simple as that. Look, I'm going to be brutal now, but you need to take responsibility for the actions and decisions you've made in your life. Because everything you have in life is a direct result of what you have done. Your decision making, your actions, your behaviors, everything is a direct result of you. When you stop acting like a victim, when you stop thinking everything is out of your control, that's when, and you can start blaming yourself for the vast majority of shit that's wrong in your life, that's when life starts getting better. Because you're in control, you can change it, and you can actually start making real changes in your life. You're the cause of all of your suffering in your life. If you want to stop watching porn, if you want better mental health, if you want an attractive girlfriend, if you want a business, stop feeling sorry for yourself and start doing the necessary actions required to gain that effect. Look, it's all on you. No one is coming to save you. Your family, your friends, they don't care enough to get the things that you want for yourself. Only you care enough about yourself to actually get what you actually want. And your life isn't going to improve without you taking action. It's going to stay the same or regress. And it's up to you to decide what you actually want. Do you want to get better or do you want to regress? I know I made that decision years ago. I do not want to regress. I do not want to stagnate and I do not want to go down. What do you want to do? The next point I briefly touched on earlier, but I want you to understand that you are not a victim. I already briefly touched on this earlier, but I want you to understand that you are not a victim. You aren't a victim of society, of the government, of your family, of your friends. You are not a victim. You have control over everything. You have control over yourself and you have control over how you view the world around you. I learned this next thing from Brian Tracy. What we need in life is a feeling of control. That we have direct influence and can control the fabric of where our life goes. We need to be able to say that our actions can have a direct result on our lives. When we feel powerless, when we feel like we can't change anything, when we're stuck in a situation that we can't change, that's when we're truly unhappy. A feeling of control in your own life, that is essential if you want to regain peace of mind and level up your mental health. And the first step is not acting like a victim, because if you're a victim, you give power away to those things. Say you think the government's fucking you over. You're giving power away to the government and you're less in control. So what's the only thing we have control over? That's our actions and our thoughts, our inner world. You have to stop letting external circumstances that you can't change. It's the Stoic tenet again. If you can't directly control it, let it go. I want you to understand blame is the root of negative emotions. When you blame your family, the government, friends on anything negative, that is when you feel out of control and negative emotions come up, thus disrupting your peace of mind. Here's a good question for you. When shit goes bad or there's a problem to solve, what do? Do you blame yourself? Do you blame others? Or do you take a proactive response and just work on figuring out the solution? Because I know I've done both in my life. I've blamed others for shit that's my fault, and I've blamed myself or others for shit that isn't any of our faults. So I want you to reflect inwards and actually ponder that question. Okay, and here's a good little thought experiment for you. Who do you think has a more successful, happier, and more fulfilled life? I want you to keep in mind both these people have had really horrible childhoods and poor families. All that's differed is their thoughts and how they've responded to the world around them. Person 1 forgives their parents and moves on with their life. They aren't tied down by any negative emotion, while person 2 perpetually blames the parents for any negative emotion, any negative character trait, anything bad in their life. They refuse to change and acknowledge that they've done anything wrong. Person 1 has accepted his situation, has changed and evolved. He now is successful, happy with his life, and has a nice family of his own, while person 2 refuses to change, holds on to negative emotions, stays stuck, and works a dead-end job with no family to call his own because they can't form solid attachments to people because of the negative emotions that they still hold on to. The blame that they have for their family and their upbringing still causes him to self-sabotage all potential relationships. Blame truly can be the root of negative emotion. And if you want to be more like person 2, make sure to hold on to those negative emotions, keep blaming others, and don't take responsibility. Don't change, don't accept anything. Okay, a bit more positive now. The action step. I want you to think or journal the last time you blamed an external situation that was outside of your control and you allowed yourself to get pissed off. Like if the traffic was slow and as a result you were late to work. Think about a situation like that. I want you to stop blaming that external circumstance, see what you can do differently and how you can respond better next time. The awareness and clarity, gaining awareness of when you do this is the 90%. If you've watched this far into the video, I can guarantee you're the type of person that wants to level up and take his mental health seriously. I have a full course on this down in the description. Check it out, I know you'll love it. Anyway, back to the video. Next point, your inputs are the problem. What you input into your brain and your body is the problem. The information you consume and the habits you partake in, they're the problem. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's down to your shitty diet, your shitty sleep, no exercising, the sedentary lifestyle. It's the addictions, the copes you have. It's the addiction to social media, the screen time. It's your porn addiction. And fixing these poor habits should be your absolute top priority. These should be, like, you have a baseline level of a solid mental health. These poor habits bring you below that. We can work on improving your life, improving your mental health, setting goals, getting what you want in life, but only after you've gotten to baseline. Right now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to succeed because you have all of these addictions and just shit holding you back. So I want you to slowly, over the next 60 days, remove one habit. Another 60 days pass, remove another habit. Slowly remove these poor habits from your life and start getting your shit together. Only then you'll be able to level up, build habits, you won't self-sabotage. Like, mate, these poor habits, they create and worsen other problems in your life. Like, they hold you back. Like, say you get poor sleep. Okay, as a result of poor sleep, you have less energy. If you have less energy throughout the day, you're going to come home from work, you want to work on your business. Because you had a poor sleep, you're not going to have enough energy to work on your business. And now you failed because of the line down there, you had poor sleep. Everything is cause and effect, just as I said earlier. Look, I'm not perfect from this either. I used to be absolutely addicted to social media and scrolling on fucking Instagram. And no wonder I couldn't get anything productive done. My dopamine sensors were fried. My brain was fucked. And I couldn't focus for any period of time. And I wonder why that was, because of the scrolling. So I stopped that, and then as a human being, I leveled up. It is that simple, cause and effect. Also, look, it's not just the habits your body partakes in. It's the information you consume in your brain. Like, how many sources of information do you take and accept shit from? There's marketing, there's your family, there's your friends. There are so many different sources of information, and all of this information shapes you and the decisions that you make. Everything from your worldview, all of that is shaped by the information that we gather from all of those sources I just said to you, and a bunch of others as well. And what that means is for you, everything you consume molds you, whether you like it or you don't, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. Like, our belief systems and our world, that's created in childhood from the information that we consume, from our parents, from teachers, from friends, from everything that we consume information. That's what makes up our worldview and the belief systems we hold about ourselves and about everyone else. Also, I have a really good video that explains this. Check it out. It's if you can't think you can succeed, you can't. Because at the end of the day, if you believe truly that you can't succeed, you won't be able to succeed. And I explain a bit more in depth about action steps and why this works. So check that out. Like, okay, here's a good example for you. If you grew up and your parents constantly told you you're not good enough, constantly barraged you with those words, how do you think you're going to react? You're going to believe that you're not good enough. You're going to have an inherent non-belief in yourself because you were told that by an authority figure. It's how beliefs are formed. And here's a little side note for you, actually. We readily accept, when we're children, we readily accept all information around us. We don't question it, we just accept it. We're like little sponges that just absorb everything around us. And anyway, if you're constantly barraged by negativity around you from all sources, how do you think you're going to respond to that? You're going to become a much more negative person just because of the sources you're inputting from the world around you. You're not inherently a negative person, but you're being made a more negative person. So, what information do you consume regularly? Do you consume brain rot, scrolling, social media, porn? How do you think that's impacting your brain, your worldview, the thoughts you have? Look, you probably think, oh, who's this guy to judge? I've been addicted to all of those things, and I've removed all of those addictions. It's not like I haven't been where you are and done what I'm telling you to do. And as a result, it's, again, what I said earlier, improved my life tenfold. So either listen to me, make the changes, improve your life, or don't listen to me, don't make the changes, and regress. It's up to you. Action step now. What is your worst habit that's holding you back the most? For me, it was scrolling. So I want you to write down the habit on paper, make it tangible, and make a plan over the next 30, 60 days to stop that habit. Don't wait, do it now. Because those that win at life take action now and do not procrastinate on it. If there's anything I've learned in life, it's that lesson. The ability to take action quickly with new information is a key trait all successful people have. They don't wait for the perfect time. Next one, your friends determine your life trajectory. Again, it's the old saying, the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with determine what you're going to end up like. You've probably heard it before, and it's true for a reason. Look at the people you spend the most amount of time with, and that's where your future is going to be. You, 5 years down the line, you're going to end up just like that. Okay, here's a little contrasted analogy for you. You've person 1. He hangs out with shit people. They spend their time on social media, they're addicted to porn video games, and they spend all their time partying and doing drugs. They have no ambitions in life, and they just want to spend their time doing those degenerate activities. While person 2 surrounds himself with ambitious individuals who are on self-improvement or want to better their lives. They don't partake in any of those shit habits, and they talk about ideas, and they want to be constantly leveling up. Okay, now think of the second order consequences of this. Person 1, 5-10 years down the line, he's going to be just like his friends. He's going to have made no progress and is going to be unfulfilled. Person 2, second order consequences. He is going to be more like his friends. He's going to have constantly leveled up. All of his friends around him are going to be more successful, ambitious. They're going to be more successful, exactly where they are and where they want to be in life. They've achieved many great things and they're fulfilled. It's a bit of an extreme contrast because it's never black and white. Life just isn't black and white like that. But I hope you get the analogy I'm making. If you hang out with shit people, you become a shit person. If you hang out with ambitious, successful people, you're going to be a more successful person. Like, what worldview and information do you readily accept, like the easiest. It's obviously your friends. You want to be accepted by your friends. You want to be part of the group. You want to do what they're doing. It's the deeply rooted need for social acceptance. And that is deeply wired into us. Thousands of years of survival, and it's just how we are now. We have the need to be accepted by others. And to be accepted by others, we become more like them. Because that's a little side note. We like what's familiar to ourselves. That's how things like Stockholm Syndrome can happen, because we love the familiar. And as a result, their beliefs, their worldview, their habits, they become your worldview, your habits. The bad gets put onto you and the good gets put onto you. Okay, the next thing, I want you to become more conscious and introspective. I want you to have a deeper understanding of yourself and your insecurities and why you do the things you do. Here's a story from me when I had a massive paradigm shift. So I was on a holiday with a few mates, and one of my mates was constantly pissing me off. Things that would come out of his mouth would just make me want to fucking punch him, to be honest. But then I kind of did some introspection and asked myself, why was he pissing me off? Why was the things that was coming out of his mouth just pissing me off? And I found out it's because of insecurities I had about myself. Because he kept saying that so this is just paraphrasing, that I was an attention-seeking little bitch, and that all I was doing was for attention. And to be honest, I kind of was, because of deeply needed needs that hadn't been met as a child, and insecurities have formed as a result. So I had that insecurity, and my mate unknowingly was constantly attacking that. And that royally pissed me off, because we have a self-identity. We have an ego. Our goal is to protect that ego. And we lash out, we react emotionally to protect that ego. We have a sense of self. We have to protect that sense of self. So yeah, I need you to be aware of yourself, your emotional reactions and outbursts to others, and then the insecurities you have about yourself. Because if you're constantly reacting emotionally to everything around you, how draining on your peace of mind is that, when really it's a insecurity that you haven't solved. And when I got home from that holiday, I worked on and solved that insecurity. And who would have guessed, I get upset less often and my peace of mind has been improved yet again. Like, if you react emotionally in any situation, I want you to look at it from a place of curiosity. I want you to ask yourself, why? Why am I getting so emotional right now? What am I trying to protect? Is my ego being attacked? Is an insecurity being drawn out? Am I projecting something in them? Figure it out, because 99% of the time you project your own problems and insecurities out into the world. And that's literally just how the emotional outbursts you have happen. I want you to make it a habit to delve deeper and understand yourself more. Why do you think the shit you do? What does it come from? Literally just by asking yourself why over and over again. Oh yeah, look, I got pissed off at my mate. Why? Because what he was saying pissed me off. Okay, why did that piss me off? Because I have an insecurity about being an attention seeker. Okay, again, why? Because of something that happened in my childhood. That's the cause. And now you learn to accept and integrate that part of you. Because 99% of your insecurities are based on fucking bullshit, to be honest. They're not real. They're not actionable facts about you. It's based on just shit that happened to you as a child. It's not real. And if you think it's real, if you think that's just an inherent part of you, unfortunately, you believe that, that's going to materialize as true now. You need to not believe it's true, believe you can change and move on. And just real quick, you do need a habit to be more conscious, to be more relaxed, and to be more understanding of yourself. There's a few really good habits, like either breath work, meditation, or journaling. And I strongly recommend journaling. That's worked the best for me. That was what fixed those insecurities in me before. And that's what I will recommend you for beginners to get started with. Anyway, for the action step, I want you to choose one of those 3 habits, and I want you to develop a mindfulness practice. Every day at the same time, I want you to sit down and partake in one of the habits. Whichever one you feel particularly drawn to. If you feel an inkling towards breathwork, try that. Try them all for a week. Try meditation for a week. Try breathwork, then for a week. And then try journaling. Whichever had the most effect on you, do that. That is such a good way of approaching anything in life. Take action now, get feedback. If it's good, it's good. It's a new mainstay habit. If it's not, and you don't like it, you now know. Last quick point. I want you to understand that confidence is domain specific. And like in some circumstances, you'll be a lot more confident. Like think of a gamer who's playing games in his room. He's going to be very confident in that room. He's going to be very confident playing games. But if he goes out to a party that, say, he's never been to a party before, wow, he's going to be out of his depth and going to be very not confident. And to develop confidence in those domains, it's literally just through repetition, over and over, exposing yourself to that certain stimulus or that certain event that you want to get more confident in. Say you want to get more confident with talking to girls. What do you think I'm going to say here? Talk to more girls. Through repeated exposure to talking to girls, you're going to get better at talking to girls. There's of course more to confidence than this, but the 80% of your confidence gains will come from just getting more exposure to the thing you're scared of. Like if you're scared of public speaking, hey, guess what's going to solve 80% of your problems? Go out and do some public speaking. Again, it might not seem it's as easy as I'm making it seem, but it really is. Our brains have a way of fucking us over, to be honest. Like the amount of times that I've wanted to approach girls and then my brain will come up with justifications and just absolute shit that is all subjective and isn't reality. And that's caused me a lot of problems in the past. So, in conclusion, take more action. Do the thing you're scared of. You learn and grow your confidence by doing, failing, iterating on, and exposing yourself over and over. So, in summary, to improve your mental health, you have to take responsibility for what you do with it. It's cause and effect. The information, the habits, and the friends you have will change your destiny. Make sure that you're inputting what you want. You need to become more self-aware and conscious of yourself, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your insecurities. And that confidence is domain specific, and you level that up through constant exposure. So yeah, anyway, that's the video. If you want to learn why most men are unhappy, click up there. And I appreciate you watching the video. I hope you got something useful out of it. Take care and bye.